Hi guys, and welcome to Trucking Along with Kiersey. That's me, your positive voice in trucking. Today I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. That's hygiene on the road. And we don't always have access to even bathrooms, believe it or not. Some customers that say, oh, there's overnight parking, doesn't necessarily mean they have a restroom for you. They may not have a bathroom or a sink or anything that you could use to try to wipe your face or wash your hands or anything. So, today I'm going to talk about some of the things that you can do on the road. Even shaving for women, that's a pain in the neck. It's just, ugh. So, here are some of my tips when we come back. Okay, everybody talks about make sure that you have wipes on the road. The truth of the matter is that most baby wipes are really thin and they fall apart. So these are called Assurance. These are the best wipes you will ever find. They're in the incontinence aisle. They're made for like bedridden patients. But first off, that's impressive is the size. Okay. This is huge. This is like 2 times the size of a normal baby wipe. The other thing is, it's like cloth. You hear it? It's like so absorbent. They are wet, but I don't know if you can see on here. It says with vitamin E, aloe, and chamomile. Can you see that? So it's very moisturizing to the skin. It's awesome. I get such dry elbows when it comes to like leaning on the armrests, that this really does help. And even as it starts to dry a little bit, it kind of becomes more like a paper towel where it'll pick up spills and things. I use these not only for my body, but also to clean the truck and clean the cat, and not the cats really get dirty too much, but I'll just brush him off with them. They're great for getting all the dust off of the dashes and things. I'm serious, like this is a 96 pack and I always have about 3 or 4 of these on the truck, at least 3 or 4 of these. And you'll get to the point where, yes, take them in the restroom with you. And I even use them to clean the restroom first before, but it just allows you to feel a lot more clean. Always do, your underarms and your other private part areas and stuff, just to help you get to a point where you can get a shower. Now, I know people have arguments about how often you can get showers on the road. Pretty much, you can get a shower every day. You can if you make an effort. It's very rare that I can say, well, I don't have time to stop off for a shower if I'm doing it in the middle of my shift even. But you have to be familiar with the locations. You could go into, say, Amarillo, Texas at 5 or 6 o'clock, everybody's shutting down. So even though that Flying J might have 10 or 15 showers, guess what? There's probably 15 people waiting in line for those showers too. So you could have a 2-hour wait easy, depending on where you are and what time of the day you do it. So if you do it earlier in the day, you're gonna get a shower sooner. But that's one thing. Something else that I wanted to talk about when it comes to women. Men, they offer the services also, but it's really hard. I think it's hard to shave all the time in truck stop showers, because they don't have ledges for you to like throw your leg up and try to shave your legs, or there's no mirrors around. I mean, you could do it at the sink and then you're like this, I don't know. Through European Wax Center, which is nationwide, I bought a package where for 12 treatments, I only paid for 9. So I basically got a 25% off discount, which is really cool. And so I can go 12 times to have my lower legs waxed, or 12 times to go get my underarms waxed, my eyebrows. and I paid for the price of 9 for each area. The cool thing about it is that even though I paid for my location at New Jersey, I still was able to use those treatments in Springfield, Missouri, where my company is. And if you go, there's like 1,000 different locations all over the country. So wherever you wind up being, if you have a 34 or something, or you have a couple days and you know you're gonna be there, then look and see if they have a wax center. It is so much easier for me to go in there and get everything waxed in like 40 minutes or a half hour or whatever it is, than for me to like sit here and just like have to worry about going out and buying shaving cream and buying razors, and then just even being able to do it. Like when you're that tired, especially when you're new, you don't want to sit here and keep shaving and shaving and shaving, and you know, it's just more time. It's going to take me longer to go take my shower. But something that's really cool about European Wax Center is that they have different kinds of products that have screw-on lids, which are really great. Like this is an exfoliator gel, and it's a screw-on cap. People don't think about it, but when you wind up going up in the mountains, the air pressure will explode some of the bottles that have like the push-up lids or the caps that open up that way. So having screw lids is really awesome. And this one is for ingrown hairs, and I also have a pump moisturizer that I got, and I absolutely love them. They're awesome. And if you do go to European Wax, they do have men's services. The men's services are like chest and arms and stuff like that, you know, unibrows and things. But if you do go there, your first treatment is free. They give you like a list of different services that you can pick from, just so you can go in and test them out and see that they're really hygienic. They don't double dip the sticks and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to makeup for women, this was one of the things that drove me absolutely insane, and nobody ever talked about it. And maybe it's because there's still only like 8% women out here. Makeup on the road was really hard for me. I don't know if you can see this, but that was a pressed powder, but from the vibrations and the shaking of the truck all the time, it crushed apart. And if you're in a Freightliner, it doesn't happen as much now that I'm in international, because international trucks are a lot more solid built, so they don't shake like that. But in the AKA freight shaker, not Freightliner, the freight shaker, the constant vibrations actually broke apart all of my powdered cosmetics. So my suggestion is, whatever cosmetics you have, individually put them into like sandwich bags, Ziploc sandwich bags, and then that way it's only going to explode in that one bag, rather than going through your whole makeup bag and just having that terrible powder that's just everywhere, and then you have to keep cleaning the brushes off and everything. It sucks. The other issue when it comes to makeup for me is, like, this is a cream eyeshadow pack. People don't talk about this either, but in the extreme heats, the creams will melt. And even if it's like cold down on your lower level of your truck, a lot of us have cabinets or up top where you have like your top bunk up top. And what winds up happening is it'll get really hot up there, especially if you don't make sure that the vents are open. So anything that's cream winds up melting. Not cool. So again, little Ziploc individual baggies. You can even put these in the refrigerator. It's not going to hurt, and it might keep them better. If you just keep them on the lower level, that's another, in a lower cabinet rather than the high cabinets. It's another tip, because in the summertime it's just sucky. Always have cups on the truck. Always have bottled water on the truck. That way you can brush your teeth with the cups if you have to. I don't know if you can see these. Yeah, you can. Okay. Those little pellets, this is a kitty litter that I was talking about in another video. And if you see, those little pellets are pine pellets. They sort of look like chopped up chopsticks. Well, when urine hits them, it dissolves and it turns into sawdust. And because it's made of pine, it has a really great scent. The best brands I've ever seen were Feline Pine and Feline Fresh. I'll see if I can post them up over here. I talked about them and I post them in the other video. I can even link them down below when it comes to Amazon. I'll link the other products too, because when you go to a customer that does not have a bathroom, and it happens, or you go to a customer that has a porta potty that like 100 other people are using and they only clean them like once a week or once every 2 weeks, like it's really, really disgusting and gross. And the men don't want to use them and they're just standing up, so like women don't want to use them. And that's like one of the worst parts about me training, is that if I have somebody on the truck, then I can't be inventive with my own stuff. So I have to take all my cleaning products in and clean the porta potties, and then the guy, you know, I come out and the guys are like, how does it smell better after she comes out? But because I Febreze those suckers and Lysol those suckers, it take me 15 minutes to half hour just to clean the porta potty before I use it. But what I learned from having a cat on the truck with these pellets is sometimes you're going to be in an emergency situation. It's not just at a customer. I just did another video about how I was stuck in a traffic jam for hours and hours. Now just imagine you've already driven 5 or 6 hours. You had to use the restroom at that time, and you're coming up on a truck stop that's 8 miles away, and boom, somebody has an accident in front of you, and now they're shutting down the highway for 3 hours while they tow the trucks and do a crime scene investigation, because if somebody dies, they shut everything down. You won't go around it. They will do a crime scene investigation right there. So you could be sitting there another 2 or 3 hours, sitting there going, I gotta go pee, I gotta go pee, I gotta go pee. And you can't move and you can't go. You can't go anywhere. Where are you gonna go? Even if you wanted to get out and go somewhere, you're not gonna be able to walk 8 miles to the truck stop to pee and come back. You'll never make it. Get a plastic Rubbermaid container, whatever size you feel comfortable with. Okay. These are a hefty brand. I don't know if you can see the different patterns in there. It's called a Flex. I think it's called Flex Steel Support. It also smells like Febreze. It smells like so good. You could get them in different scents. It's so cool. So line your Rubbermaid container with this. Use these pellets. And the cool thing about, yeah, I just dropped them all over. Thank God that they're clean and they don't have pee all over them. But use the pellets, and the Rubbermaid containers will have like a sealed lid on top of them. Just have it ready and put it underneath your bunk, or put it in a cabinet someplace that, you know, it's gonna be out of the way. And I'm not saying that you should do this like every day. I'm saying that just have one always available, because it's called nature. This might be like a topic that nobody wants to talk about, or embarrassing or whatever, but honestly, I'd rather like pee or the other into my own little clean environment, and nobody's gonna see me. You just pull your curtains closed and you do your thing, and then you have your good old trusty wipes, and then all you do is, you know, the urine's not going anywhere, the feces isn't going anywhere because of the kitty litter. And even if you wanted to double or triple bag it, then you double or triple bag it, and as soon as you're moving and you get off the highway, you go throw it all out into a trash can. Like, you don't smell it because of the kitty litter and the trash bag. So, is it gross to talk about? Yes. Is it completely different lifestyle? Yes. When we talk about trucking is a lifestyle change, yes, most people would not think that, you know, going into a plastic container is acceptable or normal or, you know, but those are the types of things that sometimes happens you don't have any control over. We all know what will happen if you can't hold it. It's gonna go all over your seat. And trust me, some of those seats are $3,000. Your company does not want to try it. Like, once it's there, it doesn't come out. So, like, be courteous to your other drivers too. Because I don't want to be driving a truck who pooped on my last seat. Had somebody poop on the previous seat. So, you know, this is reality. It's not always pleasant. Sometimes it smells. But this is reality, and these are some of the things that we talk about. Now, when it comes to men and urinals, and they do have women's urinals called Shiwi. And I know women that bought these. I guess they're usually used for like camping, and it basically looks sort of like a funnel that you put up against yourself, and then the urine can go down, say, into like a jug or some kind of a bottle or something that you wind up using. But I just knew that I would like spill that all over the place. There'd be urine all over. I'm a klutz, and I drop things and I break things and everything, so that wouldn't work for me. And a lot of guys will keep bottles on the truck, which in an emergency, yeah, okay, you can do that. But especially when you're in training, please don't use bottles. It's not nice. When you're in training, there's two different drivers. You can pretty much usually get to some kind of a facility. Sometimes when you run out of hours as a solo driver, you kind of have to park wherever you can find parking. So you might wind up parking in a gas station that closes at night. And then what? It's 3 o'clock in the morning, they don't open for 3 hours, and you have to pee. It's just nature. It's part of our lifestyle. And to not talk about it is doing an injustice to people who aren't prepared for it yet. But I did have a student that he kept putting empty bottles down on my floor, and I kept throwing them out. So I threw it out, and you know, he's like, "Where's my bottle?" And he stuck his hand in the trash, and he's like, you know, looking through the trash for the bottle. And I was like, "Why do you need an empty bottle?" And he says, "Well, in case I have to go pee while I'm driving." What? No. No. And he's like, "What? I can drive and pee at the same time. All I gotta do is I do this with one hand, I do this with the..." No. Nope. Not on my truck. Nope. I can understand if you have to go pull over to the side of the road and you gotta go, that acceptable. Put your hazards on, go as far to the right as you have to. You know, it's terrible to be a sitting duck on the side of the road, but it's better to do it for 3 seconds and get it done and over with, you know. But to sit here and tell me that you're gonna drive my truck with one hand and go into a bottle with the other hand, nope, not happening. And he said to me, "You want to make a bet? You want to make a bet that I can do it? I can do it. I can do it." Yeah, I'll make a bet with you. I make a bet that if you urinate into a bottle while you're driving my truck, I bet you I will turn right around and go into the terminal and drop somebody off. And I know who's going to win that bet. Me. So, you know, there's a time and place for everything. Now, and unfortunately, this is just part of the job, and it's better to be prepared, because if you're not prepared and you don't have your litter box, you don't have, you know, your wipes and stuff, then you're really gonna wish you did when the time comes. Now, when it comes to, like, I called it a litter box, but they do sell Commodes. My company sells them at the company store. You can find them on Amazon. There's different versions of them. Some have these little gel inserts, and when you urinate and the feces and everything, it just becomes like this gel, and you just throw the cartridge away. The only thing is that the item itself is like about $100, and then the cartridges can be $30 or $40 depending on the type of machine. Some of the others look a lot more like a toilet, where it has a tank on top and you fill it with water, but then you always have to have water, and you're not just using like, you know, a couple bottles of water, you're using like jugs and jugs of water, and then you also have to clean it out constantly. And one of the things I like about this is you don't have to clean anything, you just throw everything away, and it's so much cheaper. What are you going to pay, like $10 or $15 for a little box with the lid on it? And then, you know, the trash bags aren't $5 for, you know, 40 or something. And then the litter box, the litter itself, you get a bag of a 7-pound bag, would probably be $8 or something. But those are things that you can use repeatedly for that lower cost, as opposed to something that needs the cartridges. There are also people that you can find online that make showers. They get like they have these water bags for camping, that they basically hang them up above, and then they get the Rubbermaid containers. And I've seen people on YouTube will put a shower curtain up and everything, and they wind up washing off that way. They've used hot plates to heat the water. So you can really get ingenious with some of this stuff out on the road. There's really no reason for you to not bathe or not take care of yourself. It's just that you have to get creative, you have to get inventive, and you have to kind of put any snobbiness aside as far as, ooh, that's gross. You know, it's just, it's our body functions, and you have to do it. And, you know, do I like using the wipes instead of taking a shower? No, but like I said, I can pretty much shower every day. And if I don't shower every day, you know, I wind up telling my fleet manager, hey, I need extra time before the next load because I got to stop and do laundry and take a shower. And laundry is another issue too, because you have to worry about how many like washers and dryers does a location have. Usually TAs and Petros will have more washers and dryers than, say, a Flying J. Pilots and Loves with the laundry is hit and miss, but usually Petros and TAs even have the front load washers, which allow you more room. But and then you have to worry about, is it raining out? Because then you can carry everything through the rain, which these trash bags are awesome too, because they're that thick that if you have to, you could just shove all your laundry in this and it won't get wet. So I hope that gave you a little bit of insight into the trucking lifestyle, and it's not all bad. It's just different. Don't look at it as bad, it's different, because there's a lot of freedom in trucking that all of this makes up, you know, the freedom that I have makes up for whatever inconveniences I don't have. So if you have any additional tips, make sure you comment below, let us know what they are, and share, like, and subscribe. And I hope to see you out here trucking along. Bye.